Hidden railroad corridors. Before Detroit was known as the Motor City, it was already a city of movement. Ships moved along the river, streetcars moved through neighborhoods, freight trains moved through industrial corridors, passenger trains carried people in and out of the city, tracks reached factories, warehouses, depots, yards, and riverfront docks, and neighborhoods that depended on the constant motion of goods and workers. Today, much of that railroad world is gone from public view. Some corridors were removed, some were buried under new development, some were abandoned, some were transformed into trails, some still carry trains, but only in places most people never stop to notice. Detroit's hidden railroad corridors are not all secret. Many are hidden because the city changed around them. Railroads helped shape Detroit long before the automobile industry reached its peak. The Detroit and Pontiac Railroad, conceived in 1830, was one of the earliest railroad efforts in Michigan and the Old Northwest Territory. As Detroit grew, rail lines became essential to the city's industrial power. They connected raw materials, factories, workers, and markets, river shipping, and eventually the automobile industry itself. One of the most visible former railroad corridors today is the Dequindre Cut. The Dequindre Cut was once a Grand Trunk Railroad line. It ran below street level through part of the city, helping separate rail traffic from streets, pedestrians, and vehicles. In its later years, after rail use faded, the corridor became known for graffiti, abandonment, and the strange feeling of walking through a sunken industrial canyon. In 2009, the Dequindre Cut reopened as a public greenway. An extension followed in 2016. Today it connects the Detroit riverfront to Eastern Market and serves walkers, cyclists, skaters, artists, visitors, and residents. That transformation makes it one of Detroit's clearest examples of a hidden industrial corridor becoming public space again. The mystery of Detroit's railroad corridors is not one single ghost story or secret tunnel. It is the larger question of how much of the city's old movement system still exists in fragments. Old rail lines leave traces, a strange diagonal property line, a sunken path, a bridge that seems too heavy for the street beneath it, a warehouse wall built to face tracks that are no longer there, a strip of land that avoids the normal street grid, a trail that feels like it was made from something older. These are clues. Detroit's rail corridors also attract rumor because railroads often connected to places people already find mysterious: factories, depots, riverfront warehouses, abandoned buildings, freight yards, and industrial zones. When a line disappears, people start to wonder what else disappeared with it. Were there hidden loading areas? Secret routes for liquor during Prohibition? Forgotten spurs into factories? Lost platforms? Underground freight passages? Some claims may be true in specific cases. Others may be local imagination growing around real industrial history. The important thing is to separate the corridor from the rumor. The railroads were real. The routes were real. The industrial connections were real. Specific hidden uses need evidence. What remains today? The Dequindre Cut remains the best public example of a former railroad corridor that can be experienced safely and legally. Its below-grade path, bridge crossings, old industrial edges, and preserved urban art make it feel like a living exhibit of Detroit's past and future. Other railroad traces remain across Detroit and Metro Detroit, including active lines, old rights-of-way, former industrial spurs, and rail-adjacent warehouses, and changed street patterns. Some corridors have become part of larger greenway planning. Others remain industrial, private, or difficult to recognize without old maps. For readers, the safest way to explore this history is by comparing old railroad maps with current street maps, visiting public trails, and studying photographs, and looking closely at the built environment. Detroit's railroad past is still visible, but it often requires learning how to see it. Why it matters. Detroit's rail corridors matter because they tell the story of a city built on connection. The automobile made Detroit famous, but rail helped make Detroit possible. Before cars rolled out of massive factories, materials had to arrive, workers had to move, parts had to travel, finished products had to leave. Railroads were part of the hidden machinery behind the Motor City. The old corridors also show how cities reuse themselves. A railroad cut can become a greenway. A freight route can become public art space. A forgotten industrial path can become a place where families walk, cyclists commute, and artists leave their mark. That is one of Detroit's great secrets. The city does not only erase its past. Sometimes it repurposes it,